Good morning, everybody. It's Trent Klarenbach with Klarenbach Research. Today is August the 26th, 2024, and today we'll look at soybean oil futures, and this will be a follow-up to the August 9th video, and we will look at soybean oil futures on 3 different time frames. We'll look at the monthly chart, the weekly, and the daily chart, just to get an idea of where the price is going in the longer term and where it could go in the short term. Now, you might remember how we identified a head and shoulders pattern that was formed and completed on the soybean oil futures chart way back in July of 2023, and we have this arrow indicating where that when we identified it back in July of 23, we drew this arrow on here and we've kept it on there for you to look at. Now, when we identified that head and shoulders measured move target, we identified a minimum price move all the way down to 30.30. This is called the head and shoulders measured move, and we anticipate the price will get there at some point in the the near future. But the near future could be weeks, could be months, could be years, but we do anticipate that price going down to that level. A strong argument could be made for is even as low as 27.50, but let's keep the eye on 30.30 in the meantime. The purple line here is the 200-month moving average, and we can see how through April, May, and June, that moving average acted as support. And then July we broke through that moving average and price started moving lower. And previous support often acts as resistance. So right now we're seeing could be a hammer, or this could be called a hammer candlestick forming on the monthly chart. Now, the monthly chart is very important. It's more important than the weekly and the daily charts, and this is the longer term time frame. It gives a better indication of the trend of the move actually. So we really like to look at the monthly closing prices on the monthly chart. So right now we're seeing this candlestick forming. I'm not a big follower of candlesticks. I'm aware of them. I might identify them time to time, but I find them highly unreliable. So I don't focus on them, but just be aware there's a hammer stick candle, which is identified as a reversal pattern candle. So we'll see if that actually happens. I'm not betting on it, but and I'll show you in the weekly chart why that is the case, or an example why. So this is the weekly chart here, and we did a video back here. We can see it right here with this candlestick forming here. This is the week of August the 5th, I guess. We published our video on August 9th, and this candle was being formed on that monthly or on that weekly candlestick. So we identified as a maybe a dragonfly doji at that time, or a hammer candlestick forming, which is a reversal candle. Well, that didn't happen. We had a further sell off the next week. So I don't really spend much time on these candlesticks. Every time I seem to identify them and bring them to someone's attention, it never seems to pan out the way I like it. So I'm going to maybe quit talking about them. But we're seeing a little rise in the price here. Last couple of weeks here, we're seeing some buyers have stepped in. We're still way below the green 50-week moving average and the purple 200-week moving average. I fully anticipate this 200-week moving average will get retested at some point, but again, I don't know when that's going to happen. Time analysis is very, very difficult. The daily chart is interesting to me also. So look at the daily chart here. We can see how look at this hammer candlestick forming here. I would say that's a hammer candlestick, and we marked a pivot in the market and buyers stepped in. I want to draw some VWAPs on here. This is a VWAP from July of 23, and we can see how the price got up to that level here, which is aligned with the previous high. So we'll see if it's acting as resistance at the moment. So we need to get it above that level, above 41, before we get too confident of a price rally. If it does get above 41, we'll draw another VWAP, and we're up in that 42.50 level, $42. So we really want to have those ideas as levels of interest as possible resistance, and of course that 42 lines up pretty closely with this green 50-day moving average. Keep an eye on those levels. Don't get too bullish. If you're trading this, be aware of those levels as possible resistance and opportunity to take some profits. My name is Trent Klarenbach. It's sunny in Saskatoon. Life is good.